All right, everybody, welcome to the day 11 stream. I am very, very excited to have you guys back because it has been a while. I am currently working up here getting these like shadow pieces done. Once that's finished, I'm gonna come down here and do the same thing for the reflection of the mountain. And then I will be starting on the inner triangles of the landscape. So I'm gonna start on that. It's a very tedious process because when you're not using tape like I'm known to typically do, the precision of your brush strokes has to be much, much higher, especially with these rounded corners. It is very, very weird having to do that because instead of just being able to bring it to like a point, you have to put like a small like blotch of paint there and then kind of push it out to the edges to get that curve. It is very, very weird to do, especially when you're trying to smooth it out and not make it look like there's a bunch of like super thick paint you gotta like thin it out. Again, to keep the coat the same all the way around. It's very, very tedious. Move on to the next one. Those of you that don't know, I'm left-handed, so right now, and I have to do this fairly often. I've gotten used to it over the few times that I had to do this now. But there are times where my dominant hand just can't reach the spot where I'm trying to get. Either that or it's just not steady enough or I can't see it properly. And so I'll need to use my right hand to get the paint where I need it to be precisely. And it is the weirdest feeling because I have to go really slow because I don't have as much control of my right hand as I do my left. But it's just funny. It's weird, that's for sure. I've gotten used to it now, so I'm able to work a little faster and more efficiently doing this. But it's not the worst experience, that's for sure. It's just a little weird, that's all. It's fun though, good challenge. Mixes up the painting experience. Bugs come and say hi to my paint. Just landed on the area right above my paint. And shoot away. That's funny. It was super close to going into the wet paint too. And rises my younger brother, the youngest brother. Adorable he is, but he is also equally as loud. It's funny. Our family has nicknamed him Pterodactyl because when he gets upset and not sad, like you just heard, he just woke up from a nap. But when he gets like angry or anything, he is the loudest little kid I have ever heard. It's funny. I don't get annoyed by it very easily. I know my mom does, but it's also just mom. She's more concerned about like trying to not make him mad because it is devastating to see one's child be in such a condition. However, I find it funny. I find it very funny because he is just he's super loud. I have heard him from very far distances screaming. And it doesn't last long because he's not like he doesn't do it for a long time, but every once in a while, like when he does, it's very obnoxious. I've heard stories of like, I feel similar to this, but how it's very stressful when someone is just kind of watching you draw. And I can relate to that, but at the same time, I have found out it is a lot less stressful when you can't actually see the people. Hence this stream. Um, it is definitely a lot easier going for me knowing that uh, there's no one actually standing next to me. More just watching through a screen, which I don't know why that's comforting, but it is. Call me weird, yeah, because I am, but it is definitely more relaxing knowing that there's no one actually standing next to me watching me. Because I think it's more of just the presence, like hovering over your shoulder. That's the like weird part. It's more unsettling. Um, Either that or just nerves, like oh my gosh, am I gonna like mess up in front of these people? But when it's a video or you're recording or a live stream or whatever, it's I don't feel as much pressure for whatever reason, knowing that people can easily access this more than they could if they were to just stand next to me in real life. Because once that moment passes, it's gone. But videos, not so much. Nevertheless, it is a lot more relaxing drawing, for people or letting people watch me draw through digital devices. These small areas are really weird, especially because I have to cover up these small pencil sketch lines. The areas closer to the trees I don't have to worry about because I will get those when I paint the tree itself. But the areas closer to the white, it is very difficult to hit that pencil line, not go like over it. You got to very precise. I have to be very precise with doing this. Because on top of that, not only am I trying to get that line, I'm also trying to make all the brush strokes go the same way, so that when it dries, the pattern doesn't look really weird. So that's another added thing on top of it. Sometimes you can't help it, but that's more like in the smaller areas. But like when I push down on the brush like this, I need to like feather it out so that all the brush strokes go the same way. Ding dong. Not school time yet. Not for me, at least. I've got till September, so only a few more weeks. That's daunting. I don't want to think about that right now. School time is so close to being here, and it's very saddening. And bug is back. Here's a small fly. There we go. Back. Cool, okay. First coat of gray paint applied. Nice. Now, where did I put the can of that paint? Oh, that's right, I'll put it underneath the. With that, I will be right back. I'm going to go clean my brushes and wash my hands before I start on the next color. I've returned. Clean brushes, non-paint covered hands. I'd say it is time to get into the next color. The next color is this one, Charismatic Sky. This. Dried out paint tray. And this Euster stick. Ooh, that's a fun color. It's a very nice color. Let's see when it dries. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. All right. Let's move this out of the way. There we go. Oh, that is a amazing color. And I'm colorblind, so I don't even know if this is. This looks completely different to me than what it looks like to you guys. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. For those of you who didn't know, I'm colorblind. I have a strong protein color blindness, also known as a red-green eye deficiency, meaning the red shade and green shade in certain colors don't properly register in my brain. And so, like, oranges and greens look very similar to me. Reds and browns are similar. Purples and blues are similar. Sometimes exactly the same. Same goes for like yellows and limes. So, and then all other sorts of colors are really weird. So, peanut butter is green to me. I'll let that sink in for a second because there are some people that I know that find that very, very gross, very, very cool, or just straight up weird, which is fair because green peanut butter, well, normal to me, is definitely not what you guys see. So I hear. Um, the orange and green on a Rubik's Cube are identical. The blue and purple Crayola like colored pencils are like just are almost identical. It takes me a second. I have to like really squint and put them right next to each other, to try to figure out the difference. One of them is just more saturated. One of them seems more dull. That's the only way I can tell is the saturation. When it gets like dark out, like a lot of the way colors are affected for me are in certain shades. So, or like lighting, especially. So depending on what time of day it is, certain things like outside can seem completely different to me, which I don't know if that's how it just works or if that's just me, but like at nighttime, nothing, no, not almost nothing looks how it does at daytime. It's really weird. Um, so yeah, there's my little colorblind spiel. It's fun. I've thought about trying out those colorblind glasses because I'm curious what it really looks like. But at the same time, I am contempt with being colorblind. I think it's a cool trait. Well, I know a lot of other people who are colorblind don't like it. I personally think it's super cool. It's like yeah, I wouldn't say it's like a superpower because that's just putting it too far, but it's definitely cool being able to see things completely differently. Um, I try to use that to my advantage when I do art because although I can't see colors completely right, I like to make palettes in my brain that look correct to me and then use that. And sometimes they come out really cool. Sometimes they're just really weird. I know I've shown my mother some pieces that I've done, or just like some like colors that I picked out on certain drawings. And she'll look at me and be like, What was going on in your head?" And I'm like, I don't know. I thought they looked good." And then there's others where it's like, "Whoa, how did you think of that?" And I'm like, I don't know. That's just what I thought looked good. So it's a half and half. It's a mix of good and bad, but overall I like it. It's, it's definitely fun. Although when I'm doing things like this, I definitely try to pick things closer to what they look like to all of you folks out there who don't have uh, weird eyes, so that it looks proper. I pull up my concept piece. Yeah. My color making skills have gotten better. Let's go. Something that I'm going to be doing from now on is using the actual like hex numbers for colors so that when I go and pick out the paint, I don't have to do what I have been doing, which is go in there and eyeball it. Which I mean, I haven't been doing too bad so far. It's not the hardest thing, but it's definitely weird seeing as when I go into the store to go grab the paint, there are a lot of different colors up on that wall to choose from. And so trying to find the right one can take a few minutes at times. But what I think I'm going to be doing from now on, and I'll try this out eventually, probably on a smaller personal piece, is I want to find, there's a app, I believe, that Bear Marquee, the company Marquee Paint Type, they made a thing, and they have the hex color or the hex numbers for all of their different paint mixes. And so I want to try that out and see if I can bring it into my iPad and draw with the actual paint colors and then, see what it looks like on a wall or on a canvas maybe. Just test it out because I found that out recently and it was a very, very cool discovery. Which may or may not change the game for me trying to get paint colors to look just right because every once in a while one will look slightly off compared to the original design, and sometimes it's not the worst thing, but sometimes it can definitely be weird when you're like, here's what it's going to look like, and what it actually looks like is a lot different, just because of one or two colors that are ever so slightly off, but noticeable enough where they're like, is this the right? And although they may not say anything, or maybe it might just be me being being the artist having a lot of anxiety or just like OCD about it. But I'll look at the concept and look at the actual piece and be like, that color is not the same. It's very close, but it's just not the same. And if it's like that for all of the colors, if you can get them close enough, they all will work. They'll work just fine, but it might just be a personal thing where it doesn't look exactly like the concept, but it never seems to be a problem. It's just something interesting I've noticed. Okay. Okay, I'm going to continue with that, and then once all of this is finished, then I will start on the inner parts of this landscape piece that slowly come together. However, unfortunately for you guys, I must part ways with you. So, thank you for joining. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Bye.